Welcome to Raised in Alaska. We really specialize in outdoor Alaskan adventures, but sometimes I run into products that are like, wow. And when I find those, number one, I like to take them out and play with them. I'm kind of a gadget guy. This is the Mileseey Night Vision Binocular. This is a game changer for me. I have been out winter camping and even summer camping where you hear something in the middle of the night and you're like, wow, what is that? I'm going to first say, don't leave your tent. But curiosity is just killing me, and I went out and found tracks right beside my tent the next morning. I found fox tracks one time. I would have swore it was probably a wolf because it was so loud, and I wouldn't have went out of my tent then, but I would have kind of peeked out to see, so what's out there. Another time I was out, I could hear moose around my tent in the middle of the night. And so it would have been nice, I would have went out at that time. Because you could hear their hooves and you can tell it wasn't like the pads of a grizzly bear or something. And I would have loved to have gone out and just checked out, so what's out here? Another time I was out camping in the Arctic in the middle of the night, spring, late spring, but you could still get out by snow machine, and I heard something outside my tent. I wouldn't have left my tent, for sure. I'm nearly positive that was a spring grizzly, but just the opportunity to go out and look around at night and see things. I have been also, I'm going to call it misplaced, because if I was lost, I would never be found and you wouldn't see me right now. So I've been misplaced more than once when it's getting dark, and it sure would be nice to have a way to look ahead and see, okay, so where did I park my machine at? Or where's the trailhead, where's the trail, what's going on. And so this is going to be super, super cool. I've also at times put on the river in the dark, and we'll either sit there and wait in the boat until it's light enough, or just kind of sort of sneak down the river hoping to, you're trying to get an edge on everybody else and get partway down the river. Well, imagine being able to see and go, oh yeah, go over here, go over there, and put, the first half an hour, 45 minutes on the river in the dark where you're ahead of everybody else. I'm talking jerk boating, not power boating. And so this is brand spanking new. I've not had an opportunity to open it yet. Looks like this is a carrying strap. Direction, super excited to see that. Another strap. Power. And here it is. I've not seen this thing yet. Wow, look at that. And so, it looks like you look through this end, it comes out this end. This thing also takes pictures at night, and it takes video at night. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it home, I'm going to plug it in, charge it up, I'm going to read the directions, I'll have more information forthcoming. I'm going to get a good charge on this thing, and I'm going to take it and do some real life looking through it, since you can take pictures in it. I'm going to do that as well, and then I will share that in this video. So instead of the average unboxing video where they say, oh, look at this cool thing, and then they never tell anything about it, I'm going to say, look at this cool thing, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you use it. And so for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to videotape. I'm going to stop now. I'll videotape the area that I'm in, inside and outside, because inside this place at nighttime is pitch black. I mean, this is a cave, just about a bunker. And then I'll videotape the outside of it, because it's really not a cave. I'll videotape the outside of it, and with the moonlight and stuff at night, usually it's a little more bright. And I'm going to come down here in the pitch black then, and I'm going to videotape this inside and outside so that you can see what does it look like when it's pitch black, and what does it look like with a little moonlight. And we'll look at some other things, but I will share in this video some real life application from this. And so, super excited about that. Stay tuned for some cool stuff. All right, here's the inside. I have lights in here right now to help light it up. Let's take a look at the outside here. All right, here's the outside. Let's take a look at this view. This is a pretty spectacular view here. This Mileseey night vision binocular has several different buttons and whatnot, so you can do different things with it. This top one here will scroll up and down, and you can view different images, and you can zoom in with it. This wheel here focuses it. This accesses the settings, and this one will also zoom out. And then on the other side here, this is the infrared compensate light button. There's 3 different modes that it goes in. The next one down is the function button. And then the last one down here turns it on and off. And if you want to run video, then you would click on this button, and then you'd turn the video on and off using this button here. And this is the side that you'd look in. And the other side. And then here, this bottom one here is the near beam infrared light. And the next one over here, this is where the battery is kept. And then this one is the far beam infrared light. And then under here is where the SD card is kept and where you can plug it in to power it. And then finally over here is the objective lens. Okay, the sun is just starting to come up. And this video is actually adjusted so that it's lighter than it looks. This is absolutely amazing. You can see the writing all over the outside of the building. You can actually read the writing inside the building. It is pitch black in here. I came out this morning to check out this Mileseey infrared binocular, and I'll tell you, it exceeded my expectations. I kind of sort of thought, well, it'll probably make things so you can kind of sort of see them. It was absolutely amazing. The one thing that I had miscalculated, and when you think about it, it makes sense, is I had thought, well, I'll be able to go inside this structure and see inside the structure. And if you think about it, it's really a binocular. If you took your binoculars inside of a 10 by 10 building, would you be able to see very well? And so, you know, it was super close up, but most certainly it cut through the dark and you could see the writing on the wall. You could read the writing on the wall, which is absolutely amazing because it was probably as dark as the inside of a coal mine in there. I mean, there was zero light. I held my hand up like this and I could not see my hand. It was so dark in there. So that was absolutely amazing. So it was a great test of can it see in the dark. It wasn't a great test, can it see very far. It wasn't a great test of it as a binocular. But in terms of being able to see in the dark, it was amazing. I can think of tons of really cool uses for this. Now that we've looked at the basic functions of this Mileseey BNV20 night vision binocular, I want to take and show you several different scenarios, starting with full daylight, because it videotapes, full daylight, pre-dawn light, and then pure darkness. And then in the darkness, we'll also look at the different versions of night vision capabilities with this. This next series of videos are all taken in the daylight. The first one is at 50 yards, the second one at 150, the next one at 300, and finally one at 600 yards. Now we'll look at some pre-dawn light video. The first one was taken at 15 yards, the next at 15 yards with increasing power, and then finally at 50 yards. You'll notice that the video from the night vision binoculars is shaky. That's not the binoculars, that is me. The binoculars do not have a screw mount to put it onto a tripod. This video is taken at 40 yards in the full darkness of night, but with a full moon. And I've cycled from no night vision to near night vision beam to far night vision beam. Here's another look at no night vision versus night vision with the near beam and night vision with the far beam. And finally, complete darkness with no moonlight. Reducing the magnification from 5 power to 1 power. This was taken in good lighting, and I increased the magnification from 1 to 5. My favorite function about this night vision binocular is just simply the fact that you can look at things at nighttime with it. I think that the clarity of it is absolutely amazing, how well you can actually see things through this. And so, like, I came out winter camping last night, and I could come out and look and scan everything around, and if I heard something that I thought it wasn't a bear or a wolf, I could come out and see what it was and scope it out. But just to be able to look at your surroundings at the nighttime, I think is absolutely amazing. And the quality of the night vision in this thing is amazing. I was just talking to a gentleman a good friend of mine actually, who was in Special Forces about 15 years ago. And he'd used night vision 15 years ago, and he was saying, you know, the capabilities of stuff now, he goes, what you have in your hand right there is better than what we had in Special Forces 15 years ago. And when I got it, I can say I kind of thought it'd be sketchy and blurry and black and white. It's stinking clear. It's clear out to, well, last night I looked at my tent and I looked at it at 200 yards, 150 yards, 100 yards, and 50 yards, and then about 20 yards or so. I also looked all the way at the horizon, well, the horizon across the river here, which is probably 300 yards. And if something would have been coming out, you would have been able to see it. And so I think that it's pretty amazing that for a very affordable price, you can have the capabilities better than what Special Forces had not all that terribly long ago. So I think that's amazing. This video was taken at 200 yards, 100 yards, and 50 yards. And then I increased the magnification and then decreased the magnification. And this is what you can expect to see when you look through this night vision binocular. On the display, there are several functions that are shown: battery level, night mode, infrared light, date and time, up and down pitch angle, up and down pitch angle display, storage display, electronic magnification, function display, whether it be photograph, video, or album, left and right scroll angle display, and left and right scroll angle. I was shocked, and I would say if somebody was looking for some kind of night vision or something that you could be able to see in the evening with, I would recommend and say this is a pretty cool deal. And so don't forget to subscribe to see more Alaskan adventures, and this most certainly will show up in some of my upcoming videos. I will use it when I'm out in the backcountry, or use it to scoot down the river before anybody else can get there. I'm really looking forward to that. Or just to see what made that noise outside my tent. It'll be nice, just peace of mind to know what's out there. But remember, if you think it's something scary, don't leave your tent.